Hello, hello. Surprise, surprise. She has entered the building. The Aries moon went into 0 degrees. I want to say somewhere around 7 in the morning. Cause I felt her. I love the Aries energy, as many of you know. So things are starting to crank up. So now we have Venus and the moon and Mercury and Sun and Chiron and the North Node all already hanging out in Aries. Things are moving and a shaking. If anybody has anything they'd like to share in the chat, you certainly can. We're having casual Sunday here today, kind of a little bit. I should call it comfort Sunday, really, because that's what it is. You love that shirt? I love this shirt too. It was a gift. All right, lighting, clearing. How y'all feeling? Well, shit. How y'all feeling? I missed him. I wear this to bed a lot. It's real long. So it's kind of pajamas. How are you all feeling? We're gonna do the signs, all of them. And I decided, in my infinite lack of sleep, if you follow me on any social media, you might have seen that I was like, hey, I didn't sleep. So instead I like bleached down, like super industrial cleaned every little thing that's in my kitchen ever. Like salt, pepper, everything. And then, oh, that makes me want to cry. Yay. Sorry, reading a comment. I love this community. And then I made homemade like rolls, like kind of like the Texas Roadhouse rolls, but they can also be made into garlic rolls. And I made bread, like sandwich bread, and there's cookie dough chilling in the fridge, which I'm sure I'm going to hear my little one stalking the hallway for when this is done so I could throw them in the oven. And I made oat milk. So I've just kind of been like up and rolling around and feeling the energy. Now that you're all bored hearing what I did all night, why don't I pull cards? Because that's what you came from. That's what you came for. All right. And I don't know why, and I don't know who this is for, and I'm sure somebody's gonna laugh. But the song that I cannot get out of my head right now is Good Googly Moogly. That thing is juicy. I don't know who that's for. And I feel like the second I say it, somebody's going to die laughing because they know exactly what it's about. But I cannot get that out of my head for like the last 3 hours for no reason. I promise me that's for no reason. Okay. I did some energy work with somebody in the comments, and they are feeling lighter, and the energy also will lighten up. Some of you, we have membership here. You'll see the little badges. Some people have wrenches and badges. And you don't need no stinking badge to be hanging out in the chat, in the comments. But we have a community here, and what we do is I set up 3 dates because there's that many people now, and everybody's got different times they can meet, and we go over the eclipse. And it's funny, like, and I did a whole big special, so if you're watching this at any point today and you're like, I have no idea, my special is not scary. It's making me crazy because I can see other spiritual creators that are non-astrologers putting up things like, you're gonna have anxiety and you're gonna have accidents, and like, that is not. So anyway, I have a non-scary but very informative, highly time-stamped special on this eclipse on the channel. It's going to be the live before this one. So if you go on the main page, they're just going to show you like videos that are uploaded. You're going to need to go click the live thing. But seriously, ooh, itchy nose. All that Aries energy and an itchy nose. You know, some of the rising signs are going to feel it the day or two before, and then like by the time the eclipse gets here, everything has dissipated. Like it's like letting the air out of the tire. It's like letting the pressure out, you know? Aw, thank you. It's heavily timestamped. Not just like the signs, but I timestamped exactly so you know what you're watching, or if you just want to know where the glasses are and then go watch your sign. But there's lots of juicy information in there. All right. Let me get a rocking and a rolling. So I decided in my infinite not sleeping, I got 5 hours, and you know, my body was like, it's time to get out of bed, bitch. Let's go. So that's when the cleaning and the baking and the dough making and I'm just making everything from scratch now. My goal is to be, what's her name? Nara. What's her face? I will never look like that. I couldn't go back to 25 and look like that. She's perfection. Nara Smith. And if you haven't seen her channel, I mean, it'll make you feel like an underachiever, but everything is from scratch. Like peanut butter and jelly, she starts making the peanut butter and the jelly and the bread. It's all of it. But something is in me right now to be doing that all the time. Anyway, I'm going to go through each sign. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take one for like money, career. I'm going to take one for like relationships, and then I'm going to take an oracle for just like advice from your guides for this eclipse season. Okay. So this way, if you are happily married and you're like, I don't need to know about any of that, you know, who's messaging who during Mercury retrograde, my inbox is weird. Then and probably, now I just said that out loud, and probably the people that think that I'm talking about them. Trust me, if you're watching this at all, it's probably not you that I'm complaining about. But we're gonna do a love card, but we're also gonna do just like a career money thing, and we're also, because there's lots of, you know, this eclipse is being brought to you by the letters W, T, and F, but also by the planet Mars, more technically. So whatever, you know, and Mars is one of the ways we look at career, and yes, sometimes money. So, and then we have Jupiter and Uranus in a hug in Taurus as well, ruled by Venus, which is also how we look at money and how we look at love. So there's lots of all of that available to you, lots of opportunity. And I'm going to say this in case somebody didn't watch the special. I'm going to abbreviate this real quick. The Uranus-Jupiter conjunction in Taurus, along with this, you know, it is talking to the eclipse. So the eclipse is kind of activating it. It won't be exact until the 20th, but it is run by Venus. So then we have to go look at Venus. And Venus is having a very pleasant conversation with Pluto. It's in a sextile. So transformations for your abundance, for your love, for your opportunities, things that will be unexpected. Will it look so pretty on the collective? Probably not. Like, you know, on world events, maybe not. We're kind of already seeing that, right? So the disruption has been there in parts of the world. That whole makes me ill. But I'm saying, like, you know, on a personal level, it does not have to be scary at all. And it is a conjunction being run by a benefic, good planet that is then having a beautiful conversation with another very transformative. So lots in here. So we're going to pull one for love, one for money and career, and then we're going to pull an oracle card for just general advice. Sounds good? Sounds good. All right, I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to start pulling cards. Let's start with Aries. let's start with Aries. And if you want to know how this is happening for you, if you're an Aries rising, that's in the special. Could one of my mods, or just anybody who feels like it, just kind of go pick up the link for the special and maybe drop it in the comments? And again, very time stamped. Please don't be put off by the 3.5 hour length, because I mean, it's not one event, it's 3 plus that Pluto Venus, which isn't talking to the eclipse, but it's still happening. So I'm not exactly like a Cliff Notes kind of girl to begin with. There was no way. I felt like I sped through the signs. You have a crush on Aries. Is it hard, so hard? As an Aries moon, we probably feel more intimidating than we actually are. We're creme brulee. The crusty outside is to protect the warm gooey inside. It's why I get Scorpio and Capricorn so well. Okay, because certainly my Cancer is not hard and crusty on the outside. I wish she would be. She's learning to be sometimes. Okay, so for I actually like this. Okay, so for love, we have the Prince of Wands. So the Knight of Wands, which, you know, is the panty dropper. They come in and say all the right things, and it's Mercury retrograde in Aries, and so that could be a thing in your Aries, right? But it's in reverse. It's somebody that would have come to you, Aries, and you could be Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Care Bears. If you feel like the message is for you, it might be. And you could be first house, but really Sun, Moon, Rising, whatever. But sometimes people watch and they're like, oh, I'm an Aries North Node and that hit. You know, well, your guides will get you to the messages you're supposed to get to. So with the Knight of Wands in reverse, for me, you know, the Knights, except for the Knight of Pentacles, they're not there for a long time. They're there for a good time, especially the Knight of Wands. So when he's in reverse, the horse, what we have, thank you people for dropping the link. So what we have here is, you know, this is an interesting one because we have the lion, and the horse is not a horse, it's a unicorn. It's upside down. Somebody that would normally approach you in a very, very flirty way, and you might be over that approach. They're going to this is either you or this is them, and they're going to actually give some, you know, give pause to the approach so that they're approaching you correctly. You know, listen, Saturn in Pisces can give us also an opportunity to lay down boundaries that feel less forceful, like in a more gentle way, which just allows us to... Shauna, thank you. You didn't have to do that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So the Saturn in Pisces right now can give space to people who have a harder time with boundaries. And most of the time, we don't have boundaries to like somebody on the street. It's the people that we actually care about that we have the harder time executing. It's not hard to make boundaries. It's hard to execute. It's harder to execute, right? Some people, it's not hard at all. They have built a whole ass fortress. And I, at times in my life, have related to that comment and kind of do now in some sections. All right. So with this Knight of Wands in reverse, there's so much sunshine there. We have the unicorn. It almost feels like they really understand that they can't do what they used to do. This has to be more special. It's a pause in the movement, and you might be taking it as, okay, that fizzled out. I think they're starting to like understand. I think they understood your value to begin with. I think it's about them. They're trying to approach you in a more mature way because I think that they think that you have choices. And if you're an Aries, you might, rabbit, you might. So this is one card, it's given a whole thing. They're realizing that you have choices, and the way that they could slide into your DMs before is probably not going to be enough. The Seven of Wands, also fire energy. This is the wand. For me, this is a card of advocation. Some people see it as a card of defense, but I see it as like someone you're willing to fight for. So in general, Aries, this is going to be somebody who is going to make more effort. Absolutely make more effort. Thank you, Shauna. Thank you very much for that super chat. That's huge. Thank you. Let's pull the cards for, I have cards I like for money and career. Let's go grab them. Is my ponytail like whack on the side? It probably is. Let's look at money for you. Money and career for you, Aries. I am probably going to have to get another one of these soon because I love this deck. It's the Steampunk Tarot. The box is gorgeous. I went over that on my card tours video, but I have bent the shit out of these. Okay. If you've been searching or looking for a job, it's probably felt like really laborious and dead end is what I'm hearing. Okay. But the Ten of Swords is here, and it's like, so it looks like it's about to be over. And the Fool. Yeah, so something else is beginning. Something is ending and something is beginning. I mean, somebody who just picked up a pack of cards today could read that way. But what I'm feeling is you might have until May or not, Aries risings or Aries placements. Whatever needs to be relieved with money, it might be closer to May, because if the Ten of Swords was in the upright, it would already be done. There's just some obstacle, and we are having an eclipse. Eclipse is an obstacle to the moonlight. The solar eclipse, the moon is going to obstruct the sunlight. And so, you know, everything we do right now in a new moon, you're planting seeds, you're pressing the first domino and waiting. So it's Aries moon and a patience game. Listen, I didn't make the rules. I don't like it either. I do not like the waiting. It's right, but if we try to force outcome or results right now, they might be temporary or they might not be what we want it to be, right? I put up something on my Instagram today that said, don't chase love, be love. Like, it really is a matter of attraction. And that enormous Jupiter, unexpected opportunity that's coming in Taurus, that's ruled by Venus. I mean, that still can be coming. It just might feel like there's a little bit of delay there. Okay. Guys, you're going to make me cry. Thank you so much. You're insane with these super chats. Thank you. I have to turn my... What did I say about my phone being crazy? I have to turn... Hold on. My messages are coming through and they should not. Focus. There we go. Whether this is money, opportunity, something, there's just something that'll be revealed. It might be revealed in that Scorpio full moon is juicy. I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, the rest of April's a little like wonky, but you know, wonky is not terrible. Wonky makes us, we don't change when we're comfortable. It's rare. It's rare that we're going to make huge changes and transform and do that if we're, you know, I used to say to my oldest, who God help me is like 27 now, that, you know, complacency isn't cool. It's just probably not going to bring you the things that you want. And so the shaking up of April is shaking up things so that you can see it. Hello, lovelies. Just joining us. Let's pull an oracle. Let's go for the gusto for Aries. Let's just go in. I'm going to take the Healing Yourself deck because this Chiron is in your sign. Again, if you have any questions about how this eclipse plays out with the 3 different events all talking to each other and the multiple placements that are just within the eclipse alone, and then that 4th little bonus of the Venus-Pluto, it's all in the special I did Friday, and that is highly timestamped. Sorry that you have to... Googly moogly, that thing is juicy. Yeah, I mean, am I gonna get a violation for that? Sexuality. That's probably around shame. If it's Chiron, if you were afraid, this Chiron in Aries is going to, no matter where your Chiron is probably going to speak to feeling like you're not enough, feeling abandonment, feeling disposable, feeling like you always had to do extra. Hi, Dora. Feeling like you had to do extra because you didn't feel like enough. So have you become somebody else's fantasy? Have you become somebody else's fantasy and ignored what you want? I feel like that just hit somebody. When you're in a relationship, are you so concentrating on what they need, what they want, what their fantasy, what their desire, what their dream person is? That you lose yourself just filling a role to give you a little bit more insurance so that you are enough, so that you aren't disposable. Yes, you hear Nikki. He was supposed to go upstairs. Somehow he has escaped. And so he is at my door. As he often is. That is very, very interesting. So, and also like, that's going to also be for people who feel like they have to look a certain way to be a sexual creature, to be desirable. Just in a session yesterday talking about like, you know, one of my favorite all-time dates was to a Home Depot and I was wearing like leggings and a sweatshirt or to move furniture. Like, and I promise you there was zero issue with attraction on either side there. And so like, you don't have to, and getting that idea, especially today with AI and everybody putting up their filtered pics, and it can get worse for the self-esteem. So that is the healing message for Aries. All right, let's grab In Love with these cards. I have already bent them. This was a gift from Shauna the Pulp. I want to call it the Pulp Riot, but that's also a hair color brand. The Pulp Tarot. That's my Cancer. Which part is my Cancer? My Cancer actually plays the least, not that it doesn't have power in my chart, but It's like the person you meet last, if that makes any sense. I have strong placements on all 4 elements. I have more cardinal immutable, but I'm curious which part you think is the Cancer, because I say a lot. I can't be asked to keep track of the things that I say. I say the sheer volume. Hi, Gibson. Hi, Dana. Hi, everybody. Hi, Adva. And I saw Rose sneak in. Hi, and thank you again, Samantha. Thank you, May. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. May. You guys are killing me with the super chats. Thank you so much. The fact that Home Depot for the date, or maybe it's the Aries. That part is probably a combination of my Venus trining my moon. So it's probably more the fire energy. And then that all talks to the Pluto on my ascendant, which just wants real. My Pluto on my ascendant just wants truth. I want real. I want gritty. I'm not even like, I don't like people argue with me. I did a thing about like, I could care less about abs. I kind of don't. It's not a thing for me. The pretty boy thing, not a thing for me. I like real. I like some miles. Thank you so much for the super chats. Taurus rising. Why you do this? Taurus rising. I just pulled your love cards. Lee, we have 2 badass mods. Maybe you could go take care of the complaining citizen in the hallway. It's 9 of Swords. Now listen, Linda. If you're a Taurus rising, don't think that this is bad, because the Wheel of Fortune, look how cool that Wheel of Fortune card is. The kitsch in these cards make me so happy. But this Wheel of Fortune, is a wheel, and you can turn it. So when it's upside down, again, Taurus rising, Jupiter and Uranus are both in your sign right now. And I keep saying the same things ad nauseum, and I apologize. But, that Jupiter, the moon is going to obstruct the sun. That's the whole point of an eclipse. So it's like a new moon, so you can start things, but there's going to be delays. And of course, there's a Mercury retrograde as well. Saturn and Mars, making sure you understand the rules of engagement. Also, while you are letting that opportunity in. All of that. So this could just be delay in a big fortune. The worry. So if this is your love card, this isn't about money. I asked for love cards. This is, love life is changing. The love life is shifting. You're putting a whole bunch of worry into it. And again, please go watch the part where I talk about the Taurus, Jupiter, Uranus conjunction. If you just watch that part, I think it's like 3 minutes in that video. Because what I talk about is Uranus is also the ruler of like magic with a K. And the best magic we do is in here. And that butterflies and nervous knots are the same thing in your system. Only your brain tells you whether you're excited or nervous. Rah, right? So like if your brain is telling you, this is probably just going to suck like everything else has sucked. And this is probably going to, this person's going to hurt me. I'm going to hurt them. Like, and this is at your door. That just means like, and worry is normal. I'm not telling you not to worry. And I hate toxic positivity. However, what I'm saying is process it, feel it, Look at your fears, write them down, think about where they came from. One of the best ways to heal, and I'm not saying anxiety. I am not a doctor, and I wish I had a miracle cure for everybody because so many people I love have anxiety. But listen, Linda. If nervous knots come up, if you have a possible good situation, but life and lived experience have taught you, that's probably going to end up kind of shitty. Because if you are single, or if you're having a rough spot in your relationship, it means that nothing has ever gone perfectly. Newsflash, nothing goes perfectly for any of us. People that you see that are married for like 50, 60 years or whatever, I am sure there are times where they barely restrain from strangling each other in their sleep. I'm positive of it, right? And also different times. So, but sit with what you're most nervous about. Write it down. Think about where it came from. And then I want you to think, have I healed that part of myself? Does that make sense? Because it's the fear is in here, right? Because of lived experience, because of a million reasons that I'm not going to bore everybody with, how the body works, all of that. So if you have major anxiety, which this is the thoughts that keep us awake at night, it's the 9 of Swords, over something that's possibly good coming in, I want you to think, why did you think this got messed up last time? And then I want you to think, how are you different from that last time? And how is this person or this situation different than the last time? That might just ease out some of the anxious thoughts. Write it down and then think how, because if you were sitting with a friend, you would just say, but you're not that same person. This is not the same person. And you are completely different. Like, it's just like when you lose weight. It's when you lose weight, but you're losing like slowly. So it's like a pound a week. And then somebody sees you, hasn't seen you in like 6 weeks, and they're like, oh my God, you look amazing. You lost this much weight. Or, oh my God, you lost that much weight. Are you okay? Whatever, however it goes. But somebody else is going to notice. When we slowly heal things, we bring them to our awareness. Sometimes we don't even realize how far we've come. And again, in Zoom sessions and membership, we were talking about sometimes people will come into our lives and it's the perfect person, right? But like, as we're helping them heal something we healed for ourselves, sometimes that's just as much for us when we're saying it out loud, when we're lovingly guiding through somebody that we care about through something. It's for the awareness of, oh wow, like, yeah, I don't do that anymore. Write down whatever is making you feel 9 of Swords, Taurus risings, Taurus placements. And how are you different? Maybe you grew boundaries. Maybe you understand your inner power. Maybe you've done some work with Pluto. That's a whole different show. All right, Suzzy, get over to the money. I will sit here and talk about how to work your Pluto so that it feels like empowerment and not overpowerment. Hi, Serenity Girl. Was there anybody that I missed? I know Maricela is in here. Hello, all of my lovelies. Hi, Annika. Okay. Okay, this I don't mind either. During this eclipse, there's a small video on this channel about doing the 5-5-7 breath, so you can tell the difference between intuition and a reaction in your body because of lived experience or nervous system. To put your parasympathetic in regulation so that you can really kind of then ask your body again. So you can, hi Teresa. So you know what's intuition, because a lot of times our body clocks the intuition before the hit comes in our head or the vision, or we hear things depending on what your gifts are. I want you to watch that video because I want you to let yourself feel in the body through all of this Aries energy, through the Chiron energy, through the North Node energy. You're going to override the Mercury retrograde and the Saturn Mars by not listening to anyone else but your own body. Make sure your nervous system is regulated. Again, there's a little tiny video. Hi, Erica. Oh, I thought I talked to you before about the Cancer thing. Sorry. That's who I was talking to about that. So the Five of Wands in reverse means there is an inner conflict ending for you, Taurus, which feels like a knowing. Sometimes Tauruses are so psychic and they push it away because it's not practical. What did I just say? There's an inner conflict. Figure out what you need to do to get your nervous system regulated, and ask your guides, ask a pendulum, but like feel it in your body, because you're so able to do that, Taurus. And that would be the King of Pentacles coming out for you for money and career. So not only is that money coming in, but that's money that stays. That could be money that's passive. That could be money that's like it grows. That could be like you write a book and so the money just keeps coming. This is steady money. This is like, this can be generational wealth money. Bada bing, bada bam. The Venus ruled conjunction of opportunity and unexpected is happening in your sign. Your Venus run sign. And Venus is having a gorgeous conversation with Pluto right now in Aquarius. New ways of doing things, innovation, good for everybody, all of those themes, but with Pluto. So this is going to be transformational. If love is coming in, if money is coming in, and it's probably coming in for a lot of people. It depends on how much you want to meet the change. How much you want to resist the change and how much you want to meet the change. But it's not just going to be like, oh, I was talking to somebody for 3 weeks. These people and these situations and these opportunities that are coming in right now are going to be transformational. I feel like that's the part that nobody's looking at in the eclipse while they're all yelling, the sky is falling. I hate the fear mongering, like to get appointments and stuff. I'll put a picture up of Annie later on the channel. I love this, love this, love this for Taurus. Let's get an oracle for Taurus, shall we? Hi, Michael. This energy lasts a couple. So while a regular full moon, I would give that like 2 days. A solar eclipse and a new moon, or like the full moon in Libra, and also don't forget that doesn't go exact until the 20th, and then it you know, its transformation is there for you. Because don't forget, if you're a Taurus rising, especially if you're early Taurus rising, that Pluto is squaring, challenging you to move. I always say when you're asking a Taurus rising or a Taurus placement to move out of a relationship, move out of their house, move out of a job, move out of like what their current environmental situations are, unless they realize that they are the strength, they are wherever they go, they bring roots and comfort. That's why I talk about like hugs and a cupcake. Taurus are such comfort people. But sometimes before they've done that, like unchaining in their mind, it feels like asking a redwood to like pick up its roots and walk. So transformation is there. Lots of it. Oh, that's funny because that doesn't, oh yes it does. Okay. All right, let's get Taurus, straddling worlds. The inner conflict, the nerves. There is, look at that. There's Wheel of Fortune in a relationship and King of Pentacles. For money, it feels unsure. You can't see. I'm going to say another annoying thing. Maybe it's not annoying, but if you were there Friday night and you have to hear me say this for the umpteenth time, I apologize. Yes, new moons are good. It's an eclipse, so it's kind of more like a full moon. But also, I don't like the stigma that like full moons are bad, new moons are good. Also, when we are navigating new moon energy, we're navigating it like this because it is the darkest part of the moon phase. So what we are supposed to do is take our lived experience and the things that we healed and the things that we intuited and the way we feel now and the different person we are than when that moon cycle started. We're supposed to, we are, the lights are low. The lights are low. You can barely see anything, right? In a new moon, it's dark. And then we have to move from here, and from here. Those are the tools we are using to navigate. So yeah, you could feel like conflict, and yes, you can feel like a little anxiety ridden. You're straddling those two worlds. I feel like a lot of you, for the Taurus, you're like closer than you've ever been before to your "oh fuck it" moment. I'm sure there's a more eloquent spiritual way to say that, but that is what it is. Change can be painful. Transition can be painful. Also is feeling infinitely trapped and stuck where you are when that is daily painful. And so you are straddling these two worlds, and the things that are waiting for you are beautiful. When you feel resistance to the thing you're telling yourself that you cannot have, write down why. What was the lived experience and what you have learned since then about yourself, about the world, how you have changed. Not mad at that for you guys, Taurus rising. Okay, Gemini. Take the Nike deck, the Witch's Tarot. What else for love? Okay, this is funny. Your Nine of Swords came out in reverse. The worry is over. The High Priestess. Okay, so the thing about this for Gemini rising especially is happening in your house of like social events. Also, the funny thing is with that reading, it's a lot about trust and trusting yourself and trusting your growth and enacting spiritual practices for when you have to navigate the dark, Taurus, and it's happening in your 12th house, right? This is happening in Gemini's 11th house. Social anxiety, and there's a lot with Gemini risings. And again, you can watch the whole video, but like moving past as much as you're safely able to any social anxieties to like go ahead and make the plans and be a little forward with that kind of stuff. There's someone that's going to come in that's going to get you and that you're going to feel connected to. And because of, quite frankly, like the spiritual connection between your two souls, it's going to be a little less work. The relationship will feel a little easier. When you're dealing with a High Priestess, because this is the love reading. When you're dealing with the High Priestess, you're dealing with somebody who knows what they want. You're dealing with somebody who is going to connect into other places. It doesn't mean they don't ever use their brain. Surprise, surprise. Spiritual people can also be highly intellectual and highly cerebral. Venn diagram, not black or white. But this is dealing with somebody who, to me, the High Priestess above all is somebody who is not asking you to be responsible for their happiness. They're also not going to ask you to be, blame you for their bad day. The High Priestess kind of like gets it. So Gemini rising, Gemini sun, Gemini moon. But Gemini is having this. So if you're a Gemini sun, you could be, you know, having it anywhere in your chart, but it is very social based. So any kind of, there is, I want to say that like this high priestess, she might dabble in some of this, openly or covertly. You're going to have a different experience with this person because they know the difference between attachment and connection, which sounds so corny, but that's what I keep getting. Shauna. Lee's going to order ramen. As soon as I said that, then somebody else said, you have to tell us what your favorite ramen is. Yeah, Geminis, this is... somebody you don't have to apologize to all the time. The high priestess also is going to know if you're having a rough day or you can't meet them. If you can only meet them at 10 or 20 that day, right? They're not going to be like, that's about me. They're not going to take your challenges, navigating your own day with your social anxieties or whatever it is that that's just like a daily, maybe a little bit of something that you're working on. They're just not going to make that about them, which is really, really nice. Hi, Jacqueline. Hi, Shingamafal. All right, let's get... I'm going to take the money cards from here, too. I just love this deck for Gemini. New, you can have whatever you want. You can have whatever you like. I can hear the T.I. song. You can have whatever you like. You got the Fool card. And this is a very confident Fool card. It's funny because I do think Gemini and Sagittarius do well together. That's like, damn, we evil twin. We evil then. But not evil, just like badass. Like that, the Two Badass Bitches song. This is, to me, this is a very Sagittarius Gemini Fool card. The confidence, the music, the colorful. I love this. And so, and there's a lot of trust in universe, but if you want to go into business, if you want to start something new, you can. Now, again, there might be a little bit of an obstacle. This might get a slower. Might have a slower start, but it's a whole new. So money and career, you're getting, if you want it, a new, yeah, Page of Pentacles. Something brand new, but it's going to grow. It's going to grow. The baby's asleep. Did I put the baby to sleep? I still say I'm going to make a video. Drop my voice into that place. I should. Two new starts, and also the page means somebody might offer you, so you might get news, you might see like a job, or you might want to do something and think like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to like find the people that want what I want to do. There's something will come to you because the page is a messenger. Brings information, and the Page of Pentacles is bringing information about a new start and a new way to have that abundance. Gorgeous cards, Gemini. Gorgeous cards. Let's pull your let's pull you an oracle. I'm gonna have 20 piles of cards here in like a second. Emily's such a Taurus, she's probably deciding whether she wants a case of Ovaltine or a case of ramen right now with her. Aww. That makes me like the idea that somebody's like brand new baby goes to sleep to my voice. That's nice. It's more than nice. Okay. You know, I just want to say I love the opportunity. I love your comment. Shingami Fall. Because how it's going to unfold for you is that we're always co-conspirating. And so meeting the moment and putting the action in, because that was a lot of Taurus's reading, right? Like not holding back because of the anxiety or the inner conflict. The inner conflict is over. So like just trusting, because you're navigating this in the 12th house, right? As the Taurus rising. So trusting that and doing it anyway. You're gonna have to you and Pisces both weirdly are kind of moving quietly. Like you're gonna have to make the move and trust. It's like William Tell with the apple and the blindfold, but you're gonna have to trust in yourself. Where like Pisces is gonna have to trust in universe and their guides, you're gonna actually have to trust in yourself. Spark. This is the map. We're gonna read this one. I knew that was gonna happen. One fell out. All right, we just won't take those cards. All right. This is you are a clear channel for divine creativity. This is for Gemini, that's so perfect for Gemini. There's a spark of creativity in you, and you have every reason to move on forward with optimism and hope. Yeah, watching the spark turn into a flame and then stroking that fire. And that's, you know, we live in a world where it's like instant gratification is what we prefer. You know, we have like an 8-second attention span now. So that's another thing that this new moon eclipse is here to teach us, is really patience. Aries coming to teach us patience. But again, we're starting fires, we're starting things, we're putting our best foot forward, you know? But yeah, Gemini, that creativity and that whatever you want to do, like with the Fool, you can really kind of like move forward however you want to. But using your creativity seems to be important, and I keep feeling that in my body as I say it. All right, Cancer rising. Let's look and see what we have for you for love. I'm gonna have to start moving these cards. Let's see what we have for you for love. Cancer rising. Yeah, I mean, it was palpable for me this morning. I tried to get in like another nap after, because I only slept like 5 hours. I went to sleep early. I was so exhausted. But it feels like espresso is running through my veins right now with all this Aries energy. I'm not mad at it. Wow. Okay. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, whatever. 4th house placements and Cancer rising. Not for me, not for me, not for me. Cancer, we need another card. This is so similar to the same damn Cancer readings that I keep getting for the last like month. In the little shorts, in the long month versions, especially I want to say like March's Cancer reading. You also have a Knight of Wands, right? On his horse with his wand in his hand. In reverse. So somebody that would normally maybe approach you like, WID, what are you wearing? Is not approaching you that anymore. And it came out with the moon. So we have truth. Now, for half of my collective, probably, this is going to be like truth of... Maybe you're the go-to when they're feeling like down or they need like an ego stroke, right? And whether they're growing out of that and they want to be truthful. So, you know, and I always say, it depends on your other placements, but it's more rare if I'm reading for Cancer that this is like, oh, this is your buddy. This is your hookup. This is your like, you know, dial-a friend. And that all of a sudden they're going to be like, you know, let me tell you the truth. That like maybe you thought that like this was going to lead into romance and it's not. But because it's Cancer, I kind of feel like if that's probably not how that went. The Knight of Wands in reverse, and I went into detail in this an Aries reading, and it's funny because that energy is squaring. So if you have Cancer placements, those Cancer placements are squaring something in Aries right now, whether it's late Cancer and it's squaring the Mercury retrograde, or whether it's early Cancer and you're squaring the Venus or the moon today, but the Venus for a couple of days, or whether it's that whole big, you know, the sun, the north node, and the Chiron, you're getting squared somewhere there. It's almost like Aries reading. The thing is with the moon card here, you're going to get a truth that you probably felt, and as Cancer, that makes sense, but you're actually going to get truth from, and I gotta say, I pull Cancer cards and the whole time in my head I'm going, not for me, not for me, not for me. But this has been the vibe of Cancer readings for a while. Yeah. Somebody that would approach you because they could. Because if you had feelings and you intuited something deeper, you would let that in. Where normally you may have been like, nah, wrong one. You got the wrong one. Cancer rising, just they value a connection. I mean, the water signs do in general, but, and I mean, you could have a different Venus or a Venus-Mars conversation in your chart that makes you feel a little less whatever about that. And I certainly don't have, as long as everyone's consenting, everybody should be doing whatever they want to do and whatever satiates your soul, as long as everyone is safe in that, right? So, I mean, I'm an Aries moon with Pluto on my ascendant. Who am I to judge anything? I'm not. No one is. This feels like a big truth. I almost want to shrink in my chair for the vibe that I get for this, and my chest is tight. Almost like you're not going to, even though you've known it, you're not going to believe it when you hear it, and they have a hard time saying it. Because if you've been intuiting bigger feelings and But somebody's been coming at you all like, hey, what color is your underwear? Because that's the best they could do. That's the most vulnerable they could be before that. Then yeah, they're going to have a hard time saying it now. But they're probably going to say it. They probably are. Listen, when Neptune was in retrograde from June to January, was it December or January? I can't remember now. But it was 5.5 months. That is when people had their realizations. That is when people were discovered. That is like, we're only seeing the results of the justice of the Neptune retrograde. I think people are conflating, like saying, oh, this is Pluto in Aquarius. It's not. It was the Neptune in retrograde. That is when the aha moments were happening. People could see clearly. If you have Neptune retrograde in your chart, you're more likely to have bumped up against your gifts a little earlier, or you can smell people from a million miles away who they really are. People can't hide from you. So I feel like the Neptune retrograde is what made this person have their aha moment, but it's taken them till now. That's very interesting, Cancer. I almost feel uncomfortable because I don't like the sappy, like, oh, the blah, blah, blah. I don't love those. I don't want to be that reader that's just always telling people what they want to hear. But I mean, the moon, you're ruled by the moon. I can't see how that isn't like, you didn't already know it. But I feel like the way she is poised here, I feel like you're going to kind of be in disbelief. All right, let's get why am I blanking on the name of this deck? It's the Wisdom of the High Priestess or something like that. I'll save that for after I do your money reading. I felt like I wanted to pull that now. I can't even deal with your cards, Cancer. I mean, not that you're not due, and this isn't going to shake things up because it's squaring. So the nodal axis has been squaring you since July, which means the eclipses on either side, Libra or Aries, have all been squaring your placements. The Pluto in Capricorn was opposing. Like, all of the Pisces energy is trining. Like, it's not Cancer season, but Cancer is getting hit one way or the other. So it doesn't shock me that there would be this much movement. We're going to take this one for money. My ears are ringing. Neptune is your bedmate. I like that. I'm having, you know, and everyone my age right now is having a strong Neptune trine Neptune, and it will continue all the way into 2025. It's stronger now and will be until like April 16th for me or anybody else who has it at that 28 degrees. And then, you know, when it retrogrades, it'll come back. It's very interesting. I want to do like a whole thing on that. Neptune, what it means when it's retrograde in your chart. When you're having Neptune, like strong Neptune transits. Okay. That's weird. So for money and career, Cancer, I'm getting like your card. It's the Queen of Cups. Oh, yay, Maricela. Now we get to see you in the Zooms every month. They keep popping back in. I need one to fully fly. What is going with this Queen of Cups? This could be a lot because, okay, first of all, Cancer is still just the way Capricorn's a money sign. Cancer is a money sign too. Don't let anybody tell you that it's all just crybaby stuff. It's not. That it's all just like you know, Suzzy homemaker and crying. It's not. Can that be part of it? Sure. Okay. Just to double down, say less. Say less, guides. Your career and money is the Queen of Cups. And then I was like, well, I need a clarifier. And they're like, clarify that. It's the High Priestess. Whatever is going on, if there hasn't already been movement, you are moving into something that is going to bring you, and I have chills, closer to what I call the sweet spot of like making a good living at something that satiates your soul. It's like, you know, when your North Node and your second house cusp and your 10th house planets and everything kind of like stew in a pot, and you realize what you really want to do, it's like the path is leading up. And again, the High Priestess just, she's kind of a boss. There might be things that might make you, there might be things that may want to try to shake you along this path, because you are really you're gonna girl boss or boy boss a little close to the sun here at times. But there is movement in career that brings money, and you are gonna have to put your crab shell on and your pincers on just a little bit, because this is mad water Cancerian moony energy here for the career and money. You're gonna have to Cancer up like in a stubborn way at times, and just stand that ground and know what you know. I mean, you are know what you know. If I'm reading this for you and you're coming in and you have some Cancer stuff, like, you're probably one of those, like, I know what I know. And often Cancers can have claircognizance, which is, I always say, like, one of the hardest gifts to kind of like clock and feel real comfy in, because it's just like you kind of know something that you don't know why you know it, but you're pretty sure you know it. Yeah. I had forgotten, my Cancer moon friend, that I had also given you that almost in a personal reading. But yeah, you're going to be able to make money hitting that sweet spot of like filling your calling, and you know what that is, and also doing something that's going to pay you. But also, yeah, with the High Priestess here, especially, look at her. And this is genderless. Tarot is genderless. The High Priestess is a figure of kind of balancing all of the energies at once, and just knowing and being unmoved by somebody else's dislike of what they're doing. I think people conflate crybaby and pushover with Cancer until they push that line, and then they find out. I have a few Cancer moons in here. I would welcome them to let me know where the lie is in that. Emotional does not mean doormat. Unless we love the shit out of you. And then when we're younger and a little less healed, we may be a doormat for a very select few people. But emotional and able to cry at the drop of a hat does not mean doormat. And people are about to find that out about you. And it's going to be okay, because it feels like this is so guided. I did not set this up to be this way. And I'm not a Cancer rising, and I'm not, you know. But it's idyllic times. I pulled, this is kind of this deck does not play. It's a little sharper. It has a little bite to it. It's the Wisdom of the High Priestess deck. And she can be a little like servant to you with no training wheels. And so, and then the So I went out of my way to get some like pragmatism to like, let's get some let's get some like hardcore advice to go with this, like when you know, and they're gonna take a different approach and you might get the truth and you're gonna be like, is this really happening? And then you get these kind of awesome cards, although it's gonna get a little prickly and you're gonna need to Cancer armor. But idyllic times, the garden, paradise. It's a lot of growth for Cancer. It's a lot of growth. And I keep talking about the Leo Mars retrograde. Leo doesn't get past, I want to say it doesn't get to 16 or 12 degrees. Forgive me for not knowing that. That's happening in December. I know a lot of stuff off the top of my head now, but it is going to retrograde all the way back. Mars is going in December, Mars in Leo. Mars is a little behind the rest of the class because of the long Gemini Mars retrograde last year. So it won't go retrograde again until December, beginning of December of 2024, but it'll be in Leo and it's going to retrograde all the way back into Cancer. So there's a lot of change, and I think that is probably when you're going to have, and that will still fall in that like eclipse. Will still be in the same nodal axis as well. Very, very interesting for Cancer. Okay, let's go on to Leo. Leos, I am pulling the Starman Tarot. Let's get her out of the way. These cards are always nice to everybody. I'm just gonna keep them right here in case I feel like using them again. No lies detected. Yeah. Leo. Love life right now. Okay. Curious to see this other one. Leos, you guys are in a growing moment. And if you watch the Leo rising video, I talk about Leos in general and how they're really magnetic. And so how usually, if we think of the elements, like, and I always say, Cancer is the water that moves. It carves the Grand Canyon. Scorpio is the iceberg. It's fixed and solid. And Neptune is the clouds. It's cotton candy. It's nebulous. It's fog. It's steam, right? And so when we talk about Leo as a fire, I refer to it as the fireplace. People come to the fireplace. The fireplace does not come to the people. And I said, for this eclipse, it might behoove you. There might be a little extra something in it if you actually move the fireplace to the thing that you want. And normally you don't have to do that. These cards immediately, listen, if you're starting a relationship or there's a relationship that's like a situationship right now, or you may be far into a relationship, like a partnership, there might be a third person. I don't feel like it's a third person. Hold on. I don't feel like it's a third person threatening the relationship in a romantic way. I don't think it's a steal your man kind of energy. It's the Three of Pentacles. This is somebody who's throwing their advice, their Saturnian advice there. This might be like a friend that you like, you're at the point now where like this is what I'm feeling, because the Justice card is in reverse, right? Which is also very Aries. I feel a really either potential beautiful relationship with Leo, and my ears are ringing, so that's but there's the third person who has opinions or has to be considered, whether it's like mother-in-law type or a friend type. And in the beginning, you were brought in. One of the things that you liked is that, you know, you're a bonfire. People come to you to go get warm. So sometimes those people are cold. Sometimes those are Five of Pentacles people. Sometimes those are people who you feel like home to them. And that's a really lovely thing when somebody says that to you. But when you find out that their home was chaos, if somebody says you feel like home and home was not safe to them and they haven't healed that part, you become like temporary warmth, temporary shelter, right? And that may have been your experience. So with this person, you're like, they have an established career, their reputation is beautiful, they have really good loyal friends, they have like decent family connections. Like, this feels like I am, you know, we have a chance to be a relationship because I'm not being a temporary shelter for somebody who just is cold. I feel like the Leos are hearing me very much right now. It feels unfair because now it feels like, okay, when does this person stop being like, when do they let me in fully? Like, whoever this person is, whether it's a friend, could be a sibling of this partner or potential partner, or like a mother, but it's somebody who feels almost, I want to say, a little bit of an unhealthy claim to this person. And it could be protective. They could be like a little bit of a pit bull for them. I understand that. I can be a pit bull to people, but I've learned to be like, let me know when you want that. For your love life, we have the Three of Pentacles. And there is the acknowledgement that you crave, to be seen, to be known, to be heard, all of that, and you are this beautiful, wonderful, warm fire that deserves to be seen and known and heard. I feel like you kind of had to fight for that for a long time. So now it's about sharing this person with somebody else. And I'm not saying you're not capable of sharing. This person is really a little pushy. I feel like somebody who's, but there is also something for you. This person's going to learn from you and you're going to learn from this person. It's like almost like the yin yang around. So the relationship will be a little easier. But like the yin yang around you and this person, you kind of both learn from each other. This works. And what I think is funny is I think that you feel resistance. Oof. I feel like you feel resistance from this person now, but something's going to happen later because shit happens in relationships where like they're going to be annoyed at you. Guys are going to have a fight or something. And it's this person that's going to come along and go, don't screw that up. That's a good one. And I don't think that they're verbally saying, I think that they are challenging your acknowledgement. It's funny, I was just having this conversation. I am a Leo Venus. I was just having this conversation this morning about someone in my life that gives me the opportunity to heal the whole like validation thing that I have with my Leo Venus, and kind of feeling like if I don't have the validation, then I must not be enough, which is a me thing, not a them thing, right? But sometimes that space is there, and I don't think this person is going to give you like the third party person, and the third party person isn't they have no wish to be romantic with your partner. It's just they're going to end up being helpful. You watch. They're going to end up being helpful. They don't feel diplomatic, but they are going to be your personal diplomat later, and the relationship works. Money-wise. Money. Erica, if you're still watching, I might be a little tardy here. Okay. I don't know if this is you're going to get money through a partner or a loved one, but something you want to do that you're so passionate and creative. People feel like you could be the face, you could be the whatever, and you're going to get help. This is an aces from universe, but it's an ace of cups. Somebody who like loves the shit out of you, wants to like help and also financially support. But whatever it is, they think that you have fire. It's like that whole like, we think you got potential kid kind of vibe. You could be 50 and be somebody. I have people call me kiddo all the time. Some of them are younger than me. And I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, that's so interesting. I did the extended too for Leo and for the members, and I feel like it was also very interesting. You have more power in a situation than you might think you have, and somebody might offer to financially back you, which I'm not mad at all for you. All right, let's grab more cards. I'm just going to fly through these, and then all of these healing messages come, and then I want to like connect and take the moment and make sure I'm like talking to the right person. Communication praise. The word Lord. The praise is not going to come how the praise normally comes, Leo, but it's coming, and it's coming from somebody that you will respect. This will not be like superfluous, gratuitous. This person might make you work for it. I felt Saturnian energy right away. So you might have somebody who's a little older, or just feels like they're older, or feels like they're more established in some way. They might chronologically be, like I just said, I have people that are younger than me call me kiddo. Sometimes I don't know how I feel about that. I know it's supposed to be like whatever, but I almost want to say, Leo, if you felt tested, you might have been. You might have been. But you're passing with flying colors here. Flying colors. All right. Let's grab these while we're at it. Okay. Virgo, how you doing? I'm going to actually take these as your tarot. Take a sip of water. I'm starving. I also made homemade kind of like candy bar Twix kind of things last night. Like tiny, small ones. We could each have a little square. And I'm just remembering that I did that. So I think that's going to be my little sweet treat. Venus is squaring my sun right now. So it's probably challenging me not to be like Aries energy into the sweet things that I've been trying to avoid. I've been avoiding sugar and now dairy. Okay. Not mad at that, Virgos. Virgo rising, 6th house placements, sun, moon rising. Strength and the King of Swords. Now, as a Virgo rising, I gotta say, I love a King of Swords. I like to know when you say to me, you meant what you said. I like to know that you're just not willy-nilly, you know, and you're not speaking to hear yourself talk. And that comes from a girl who doesn't ever shut up. But I've also been in a position to be able to, like, do things for people through different careers or, like, connections to friends, or, like, I don't know, maybe I had, like, a million hot girlfriends and I had people that would pretend to be my friends through, like, proximity to me. So even though I talk a lot, I really value somebody that just says what they mean and mean what and sometimes that balances each other, somebody that doesn't talk as much. But you have a King of Swords here. This is somebody truthful. They are not full of shit. They're usually kind of funny and smart. Virgo, didn't you guys get a King of Swords someplace else? I want to say you did. And I was like, I'm not mad at a King of Swords for Virgo. And you have this gorgeous Strength card here, which is Leo, but it's the Strength card. And this Strength card, she's not hiding behind him. He is roaring and she is gentle. That's for your love life. Someone strong that's going to make you feel like you can finally fucking relax instead of being the one to serve everybody and do all the things. They might be a little slightly older than you, no matter how old you are. But I think you could sit and listen to him all day. And I said, was it last week when I said Virgo is definitely the sign of that, like, Henry Rollins meme, like, sit me down, shut me up, teach me something I don't know? Hi, Moanne. Oh, thank you. We missed you too. Yes, Kelly, the Neptune sometimes. I'm glad I'm aware of it, so then but sometimes also I torture myself about, like, that must not be real. The Neptune could be challenging. Yeah, I absolutely love this for you, Virgo. It doesn't need a whole lot of clarification. This is strong, and this is somebody who's only going to speak when they have something of value to say. And they're also, I find the King of Swords is less likely to, like, tell the little white lies. They're not worried about being diplomatic and saying the right things because it's more comfortable in the moment and letting somebody interpret it. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's people who could just, oh my God, talk the skin off a snake, and it's like, write lyrics or whatever. If you've ever had somebody write you a song. I have a couple of songs. And those are probably the three people I would not pick up. I would not be like, hey, how are you? Like, it's not that person. This is somebody who is, if they say it, they mean it. And if they didn't say it, they probably don't think it or feel it. Okay. Let's pull you some money cards. Let's pull you some money cards. There's the ringing again. you're picturing yourself. I had somebody recreate the scene with the boombox when I was really, really mad. But the thing is like, if you're only doing that shit when I'm mad at you, that's not romantic. He showed up outside my job. So like everybody saw. It wasn't just me at my bedroom window. I walked out and it was closing time. And everybody walked out to this big grand. I'm such a hard sell now. The acoustic guitar comes out and I'm like, I was young and dumb once though. I used to love that. You eat that shit up, left no crumbs. Okay. Virgo. You have the Six of Wands. That is success. There's victory. And like applause. Other people will see your victory and your success. Now I'm more of a poetry girl. The squaring off musicians didn't work either. All right. Virgo, somebody may have been taking credit for your work at work. Somebody may have, there's something here, because not only this Six of Wands is very reputation based, and here's the Moon card. I'm telling you that Scorpio full moon's going to unlock a lot after the eclipses. Because it's the detective. Scorpio is the detective. It feeds on truth and secrets and all of it. You get a full moon in Scorpio. Those are pretty powerful, but especially right after a series of eclipses. So yeah. I don't think you have to do anything for this, Virgo. I don't think you have to do a damn thing. I think you could just sit and be you. You can sit and be you, and everybody's going to know what you did, that you deserve credit for. This is success. This is victory, and it's truthful victory. I almost want to say for some of you, there's some level of redemption here. I'm never mad at a Six of Wands. Let's get you a card. Let's get you a card. Okay. It's funny, I grabbed these, and so maybe they'll give us a hint of towards when you're gonna, this is also slow. I think like it's happening behind the scenes is what I keep feeling and hearing. Two came out, the blue moon, believe in the impossible. I'm telling, for some of you, this is redemption. It's almost like I'm getting two different cards for the two different situations, because I feel like I'm talking to two different sets of people. Look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sag, which is coming up. Full moon in Sag happens in Gemini season, so that will be the end of May. All right. Libras, how are you doing with everything opposite? Hey kids, I said this is going to be Aries through Pisces. I did not expect these messages to be so deep. So I'm going to do a part 2, but I'm going to do it later today. I apologize to the people over on the other side of the world. I'm going to do Libra, and then I'll come back and do Scorpio through Pisces around 3:45. or 45 minutes from now. Because I don't want to rush. I don't want to rush the other signs. But I have a session at 3. Okay, so for Libras, right now you have the South Node. You have the South Node in your sign, and you've got all of this Aries opposing you. And then you're having inconjuncts to the Saturn, Mars in Pisces, and the Jupiter, Uranus in Taurus. So it could feel like little things you're not expecting. It could feel like annoyances. It could feel like little like things in the way. And also like having to come to grips with the things you shouldn't, the things that maybe it's time to let go of, right? Old identities. And we talked about that during the full moon, during the new moon eclipse special. It's the 3 of Swords and the 8 of Swords in reverse. This is a time for you healing. It's funny because this is the relationship stuff, and it's really about you. And that is the opposite of how Libra usually works. They make it all about the other person. Libra, your relationship cards are all about you. This is the 3rd time we're getting the 8 of Swords, or either the 8 or the 9, which are both like anxiety. But this is the worry is over, and this is healing heartbreak. I feel like this changes everything. I'm going to pull a 3rd card for Libra. The Star. Abso-fucking-lutely. There is so much healing that you're having. It heals you. It heals your relationship. It heals all of your relationships. You're still in the full moon energy too, Libras. It's kind of unbreak your heart energy. The 3 of Swords means something was deep and had to be healed, and it is. So like that is like you could have had a broken heart over stuff that happened in your childhood. You could have a broken heart over, you could be carrying something from an old wound, but this heals, this changes everything. This of course I feel like this is going to culminate in the fall. Let's take some money cards for you. Let's take money cards, and then I will come back let's just say 4 o'clock, an hour from now. So it does give me time to like, get more water, or maybe throw something. I used to post all the time, and if somebody could just throw hot dogs at my mouth. I don't eat hot dogs anymore. Okay. Gotcha. Libra, I feel like you're not, I don't know that you feel the Taurus. The Taurus energy is in conjunct to your sign, right? I don't know that you're feeling it. And that means you don't share a modality, you don't share an element, you don't share a polarity either. We have the card for Taurus, the Hierophant. And then we have a Knight of Pentacles, which I absolutely love for you. The Hierophant moves slow and steady. It has A lot of, and this Hierophant has 3 faces. I don't know if y'all can see that. For money and work, one, there very possibly could be like a mentor person here. But 2, I think you're sleeping on that. Libras, don't sleep on the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in Taurus for you. Buy a lottery ticket or apply for the job, or people that are unqualified get jobs all the time. I think you think you're unqualified for something and you're not. You're sleeping on how much that, because it's still talking to the solar eclipse, which is very transformational, which is then, you know, that Venus is opposing too, but that's having a transformational conversation with Pluto. And I just, that is absolutely your message. Do not sleep on the opportunity. And it's Uranus, so it's unexpected, and it feels extra unexpected for you. Like, I don't think you're thinking that's even possible. But you have this ton of healing, and there's like a hidden, it's like a hidden buried treasure, I want to call it. That sounds so stupid. But with the Knight of Pentacles there, it's what is coming in for a long time to grow. It does not, the Knight of Pentacles, and I said this earlier in the session, in the live, that Nine of Pentacles is the one Pentacles doesn't come in for just a good time. It's there for a long, long time. This is steady. It's Taurus. It's earthy. It's opportunity. There's a mentor here. Oof, Libra. I mean, this is going to be transformational for you with all of this. You know, opposing you. Let's pull an oracle for general advice. You know, healed people have the best relationships. So I really actually love that healing from heartbreak and healing the worry, and that gorgeous, gorgeous major arcana star card. That's my favorite card in the deck. I often say that. It's one of the last ones I haven't created for my own deck because it needs to be so special. Okay. Big picture thinking. Yeah. Visionary and inspired. You're gonna, there's a mentor coming one way or another, and you may think that you may not be a, hi Jasmine, that you may not be like a candidate for this. You are. You absolutely fucking are. Big picture thinking. And the healing is gonna allow you to do that. You're not going to have to bleed for others the way that you thought that you had to make things worth, to make yourself acceptable. That's what I'm hearing. That's what you're healing, and it changes everything, because when you change that, you change your self-worth. When you improve your level of self-worth and self-love, you recalibrate that antenna that is your Venus that attracts in what you think you deserve. Oh, I emailed you, honey. Yeah, I'm going to come back after. I'm going to do Scorpio and Pisces after. Guys, I'll be back in around 50 minutes. Not 15, 50. And I will do Scorpio through Pisces. And I'm going to give away a reading. So come back. I'll start a new live. Woo, these readings, I thought I was going to be like, okay, this, that, and then run through them like I can sometimes, and nope. These are big. Shame on me for thinking any different. I love you, now you love you, and I will see you back here in about an hour for Scorpio through Pisces and a giveaway. All right, bye.